I gotta tell you a story. So I'm driving from Miami to Georgia. Why? Because my wife doesn't like Florida. She doesn't like living in Miami. She's originally from Minnesota. We're living in Miami for 5 years. She doesn't like it. And when my wife doesn't like it, and she says, we gotta move, what are we gonna do? Because that's how it works, right? That's how it works. I've been married, by the way, married 20 years. 4 different women, add up the years, doesn't matter. That was a joke. See, that was a joke. Now, I only have 2 kids, not 8. I gave up easy. Yeah, that's it for me. And so my wife says, I don't like Miami, I'm out. He said, we got to get out of here. And our kids are about to go to high school. We didn't want to send them to the high schools. Why? Because we went over and looked at the high school that our kids had to go to. And we had them in private school up to that point, and we went over there, and it was like Thug High. You know, the jerseys, the chain, the cellular phones, the whole bit. I mean, kids were wearing $500 worth of apparel on them. And I said, no, this is not where we're going to go. My wife said, let's move. She said, let's go back to Minnesota. I said, no way, I'm not going back up there. I said, let's go to Georgia because they have a great airport and I can fly all over the place. So I'm driving up, right? She goes, go do the recon, go find us a house. That's how it works at home. And so my wife says, go drive, so I'm driving. And I finally get to a place called Valdosta, Georgia. How many folks are familiar with Valdosta, Georgia? Beautiful. So I get to Valdosta, Georgia. Now, I've been to Georgia in and out. I've never been there, if you know what I mean, hanging out with the folks. So I go into Valdosta, got the baseball cap, got the t-shirt, shorts, sandals, the whole bit, walking in. I'm hungry, I get the IHOP. I see an IHOP, walk in, young Caucasian kid comes up to me, and he says in that southern twang, can I help you? I said, what? And I said, yeah, you can help me. Breakfast. 1? Yeah, 1. So, and they don't say 1, they say 1. I said, yeah, 1. So I try to react as quick as I can. 1. So I said, 1. I said, yeah, 1. And he says to me, follow me. So I follow him. Why? Because I'm hungry. Right? So I'm following, and I'm walking behind this kid, turns around, and looks and says, man, you sure dark. Says that to me. He just turns around and says, man, you sure dark. And you know when somebody says something to you, you're not expecting it? It's like your gears in your head just locked up. I can hear them grinding. What do you say? What do you say? And too bad, the moment's passed, let it go. Why? Because I'm hungry. Right? So I was like, because when you're hungry, we can allow certain things, right? So I'm walking still behind him, and then he turns around again. He says, man, do you work out in the sun a lot? Look at the Inquisition here, just want to get some breakfast. But this time I was a little more compelled. I said, no, I was just walking a little dark. Is what I said to him, right? We get to the table, sits me down, slides the menu over to me, walks away, and he says this before he walks away. He says, man, I wish I had me tan. He walks away and says that. Now, as I was telling the story, most of you are probably thinking, man, I would have been offended. I just left right there, right? Because you were thinking he was what? Judging me. See, but I've learned that's not what most people do. Psychologists call this a fundamental attribution error. Come on, you guys are HR, your psychology majors probably in here, right? A fundamental attribution error is what? You attribute something erroneously to some action, right? And when he said that, man, you short dark, I could have taken that incorrectly, right? I could have been offended by that. But again, man, just like my tan. And I start out with this story because, folks, have we gotten just a little bit too sensitive? I'm just asking the question. Have we gotten so sensitive that everybody offends us now? Right? And I got to tell you, I like Georgia. I like Georgia. You know why I like Georgia? Because people there are blunt. They're nice, but they're blunt. And I found out in Georgia, man, Georgia has a national treasure. See if you know what it is. How many folks have been to Georgia, by the way? All right. Here's the national treasure. Tell me if you know. The Waffle House. Clap if you know what I'm talking about. Man. Let me tell you why I like the Waffle House, because there you will find the most politically incorrect people, and I love it. Let me tell you what happens. You walk into a Waffle House, and man, these ladies come up and he says, come on in, honey, sweet pie, darling, my favorite baby. That doesn't offend me. I'm okay with that. I tell my wife when I'm hungry and I need love. That's all I'm just trying to share with you folks. My point is we become so sensitive. People say things and we're just ready to what? Get offended. It's like we're tuned into the station W. What do you mean? What did you mean by that? You said something, and I realized that on both sides, and I say both sides in general, we're always waiting for somebody to offend us sometimes. And I think we have to lower our sensitivity. Psychologists say high sensitivity equals low self-esteem. Would you agree with that? I think the higher your sensitivity, the lower your self-esteem. Later on, we'll talk about how to raise your self-esteem.